Let's see. That's good. Good on this end. All right. See if notifications want to pop out. Yep, they did. All right, let's see if people come in tonight. Hopefully some people come by. There's actually quite a bit to talk about for once. Whether that be, Roquan Smith getting traded, the Lions expressing major support for the, for the leadership roles, coach, GM, yada yada. A lot going on. Christian McCaffrey was traded just a couple days, Thursday night, the day after we do a live. What's up, Ken? What's up, Ape? Blah, 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 blah. Man, I can't wait for the election stuff to get over with. I heard every ad on YouTube is a commercial about politics. It's like, ugh. All right, there we go. So how's everybody's night been while we wait for the question? You got over under right now Bears versus Pats, because I said the score would be 37-10. It was 33-14. There you go. It just went a little bit opposite of the way you thought it would go, Never know. The Patriots have gone with Zappy going forward. Or with Mac Jones, rather. Probably because Bailey Zappe just started throwing a shitload of turnovers. Yeah, scoring a touchdown, it should be breaking the plane. I think that's supposed to be what it is. Why didn't my chat load up there? That's weird. Hold on. There we go. And both ads for... Yeah, they're awful, Mike. I'm going to give the Giants credit. This Thursday night, tomorrow night will be good. Bears, Bucks versus Ravens. I think because on a field goal, they've decided that it's not just breaking the plane. There is a different target of scoring. I think it's just set for like a different target of scoring is the way I look at it. Like if you're a ball carrier, your target to score is breaking the plane. If you're a kicker, your target to score is hitting it through the uprights. That's literally like my best interpretation or guess of how that goes. It's like expectation of the ball possession of the ball possessor. That's my wouldn't they be the number 1 seed in the NFC, if not for the undefeated Eagles? Yeah, I mean, the Giants are the number 5 seed in the NFC, which is really silly. But, I mean, that is what it is right now, yeah. I mean, it's fun to think about. But I think a lot of people are stuck on the Giants because it's like, well, I mean, it's the Giants. They haven't been good. Daniel Jones is supposed to be a bad quarterback. Yeah, no problem. That's just the way I look at it. It's like, if you're carrying the ball, yeah, you should probably, it's just breaking the plane. But like if you're kicking it, going through the upright is your expectation to score. Honestly, that's a pretty solid question. And it's just like kind of a tricky one because it's like, yeah, why the hell does it have to go through the uprights? But I'm like, I guess there is expectation of the ball possessor. NFC South, same as NFC East, 2020. Wait, there's no over 500 teams in the NFC South? Damn, dude. I wish the Patriots were in that division. It'd be a lot easier than being in the NFC East. What a goddamn nightmare it is all of a sudden being in the East. Can you imagine being a Commanders fan? You're like, all right, we're 3-4. Things aren't, season's over. Why? Well, the best team in our division is 6-0. The second best team is 6-1. The next best team is 5-2. I think our season is effectively over. Imagine being 5-2 and in third place. That's got to be the most demoralizing shit ever if you're a Cowboys player. Like, oh yeah, we're having a great season. We're in third place. Word. That's awesome. I really enjoy this. Yeah, the actual goalpost. Yep, they moved it and made it a little harder to score. So it's not just like booting them through. Did you guys see Roquan Smith crying at his press conference? Man didn't really look like he wanted to be traded from the Bears. If I'm an Eagles player, though, I'm like, man, if you at least you only had to give up a 4th round pick, but because like, oh, I'd be super suspicious of his ass going right back to Chicago in the offseason. Giants lose a game. Yeah, they would, right? Because a 2-loss Giants team has the same record as the Cowboys. If they both stay with 2 losses, and then I believe the Cowboys hold a tiebreaker over them right now. So, just always something to think about. Am I the only one who thinks the Eagles, or not the Eagles, but the Seahawks are just a little overrated? And once the whole like, oh yeah, it's just Geno Smith thing clicks for a bunch of teams, it'll like, this is gonna stop? Or do people actually believe like Seattle's turned it around despite like doing nothing with their team? They just suddenly are just good now. I like that narrative. I kind of like, it's kind of just what it looks like, right? Like it's just like, well, they were a shitty team and now they're good. What's up, Jacob? That actually doesn't really happen that often because like their offensive line doesn't have anybody good on it. It's just a bunch of random people. And it's like, huh, interesting. Ooh, he's back from the IR. He's on the IR 21-day window list. Geno the Boogeyman. Yeah, I know. He's just been a monster this year. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, did you guys... We have to talk about Russell Wilson. All right. What's one of the most... Okay, so imagine you're on a plane, right? And you're flying a very far distance. And there's no way you could get away from this, by the way. All right, so you're sitting there. It's basically nighttime. You're trying to sleep, get acclimated to the sleep schedule you might be on for going across the sea. And there's some jackass there shouting loud stuff about Jesus. He's working out, and this idiot starts running down the aisle doing high knees. What would you think of this? What would you do if somebody was interrupting your flight while you're sleeping because they got to do their fucking 4 hours of high knees? What's up, Daniel? If you've ever been on a plane, you would understand that's not a lot of room, and you're going to be enjoying the whole workout with them. You'd think, wow, that's not even a real person, right? That's totally just a fake human being. Nobody would actually do that. Well, have you guys heard about what happened with Russell Wilson today? And it's been confirmed by multiple Broncos at this point. I think KJ Hamler was just like, yeah, he was doing that. He put a bunch of laughy faces, so I guess they probably found it quite amusing. But yes, Russell Wilson... for several hours, I think it says 4 to 8 hours of the entire flight to London, was working out in the aisle of the plane, doing a whole bunch of high knees, while the team was sleeping. The whole organization's just sleeping. And this dickhead is doing high knees down the aisle of the plane. I'd have tripped him. I'd have been like, well, looks like we're sticking with Brett Rypien for a couple more weeks, guys. Why? Watch this. Stick my leg out in the aisle and trip his ass. That would have been the end. I'd have been like, nah, I've had enough of this subway slinging dick bag. The fuck are we doing at this point? He probably was filming it with a full-on film crew, and the video will be out later this weekend. And all you're going to see is a bunch of guys like, man, Rush, stop it. Hey, it's going good, Shlomo. I'm just enjoying the hilarious Russell Wilson news. But you know what's funny, though? The second Denver starts winning, all this horseshit that Russell Wilson's doing is completely verified. Like, he can get away with every bit of it going forward. Oh, yeah, no, if it would have been a positive reception, there'd have been a video, by the way. Oh, you already happy? No, there was. Now, again, if Russ suddenly starts winning and puts Denver in the playoffs, all this happy horse shit will be forgotten about. Because again, oh yeah, Sierra's probably going back to Future at this point. She's calling Future like, listen, I didn't know it was this bad. Future's actually calling Sierra and being like, I got to get my kid out of that abusive ass household you got him in. And Sierra's like, what do you mean an abusive household? We never hit him. Yeah, there's other ways to abuse kids. I ain't letting that fucking dude raise my son. I don't know what Future's doing, letting Russ just do that, but it's like, Future, brother, you're fucking your kid up. He's going to be doing all kinds of weird gay shit for, oh man, that poor kid. Ain't going to be anything cool about fuck any one of them kids. Let's go hang out with your Uncle Tyler Lockett, who's a virgin. Because, you know, him and Russ are really close, right? And there's a fun story about Tyler Lockett. He was a virgin till he got married. I don't know if he's married yet. And he ain't doing no bitches till he gets married. He's a very devout religious man. So, you know, Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson are the coolest dudes in the neighborhood. Driving around, listening to their Will Smith records on full blast. They're like, damn, this is really good music because it doesn't have any of them. Or, dang, this is really good music because it doesn't have any of those silly cuss words. And it's kind of hip, you know? Nope, actual virgin. He's very proud about his virginity, too. He said he said it gives him superpowers. He's like way too into. He was like an icon before he got married in the NoFap community because the dude just. And you gotta think about man is a fucking NFL player and he just didn't do any of them bitches. He's like, nah, no thank you. I don't need your pussy. I got the power of Christ. For safety, does a player have to step out of the end zone or does he just hold the ball? Has to step out typically. Which is a little weird and kind of goes against the whole breaking of the plane thing. Yeah, either tackled or be out. Yep. Or like do something stupid in the end zone. There's a way to another way, like commit intentional grounding. There's like several ways. But yeah, normally just holding the ball because sometimes it's just like if you like drop your arm back to throw, like if the tip of the ball goes over the end zone corner, that's not really fair. You know what I mean? Yeah, intentional grounding holding. Yeah, there's another penalty. I'm pretty sure if you commit offensive pass interference, I don't think you actually can. Never mind. I forgot there's the 5-yard box. I'm like, well, if you commit OPI in the end zone, but then I'm like, I don't think that's actually a doable thing. Nah, I think Russell's overall a good dude. Like overall, Russell's a good dude. He's just really corny. That's all. Like I like, you know, overall he seems like a solid person. He's just kind of a cornball. Seattle better win with the way they've been talking trash because I'm about to unleash hell on them rat bastards. Yeah, that one guy. If they don't win, because like Seattle fans went from like, damn, this is gonna be. What's up, Dale? How's it going, dude? With Seattle fans went from very humble this like for the first few weeks of the season to all of a sudden it's 2012 2013 they have this defense that's fueled by illegal taking of Adderall, PEDs, all kinds of shit going down on that Seattle Legion of Boom team. But hey, no one ever really talks about how much the Legion of Boom was fueled by them cheating on PEDs. But you know, hey, whatever, no big deal. Everybody always points out the Patriots cheating, but hey, one team was, you know, using PEDs. Oh yeah, happy birthday, man. But anyway, yeah, they're acting like they're all the way back at the Legion of Boom. It's like, dude, you guys better calm down a little bit. If it's egregious, like pushing to the ground, yeah, it's something like that. If Washington went to the NFC South, they'd be leading. Yeah. Everyone having a good day today, by the way? I forgot to ask. The only reason this is starting so late this evening is because I had to go to a poetry reading contest. It was a Halloween reading contest, right? And I was one of the 5 finalists for the poetry part. There was 10 finalists, 5 poetry, 5 flash fiction. Those are like short stories. And I was one of the 5 finalists. And then, so I had to read mine. And then they decided there, well, it was already pre-decided, but everybody read. And it was hosted by the school newspaper, so this is pretty cool. I won. Yeah, finished first for the poetry side. Other side had a tie for first place, so I'm the unanimous first place winner of the poetry side. 1-for-1, first ever thing I ever tried to submit for anywhere. First reading contest I've ever entered. Let's go, baby. Call me the Brady of this of the writing world. My slow burn strategy has been perfect. I said I was never going to publish any work until I've been writing for almost a decade. Because I was like, I don't think anybody's going to give a fuck what I have to write about for about a decade. And now that I'm about to be 30, I'm like, let's see if people care. And I'm like, oh yeah, I won that going away. I was way better than everybody. I don't mean to be braggadocious. It was all really good writing, but like the poems, I was like, I'm the only one who wrote something actually scary. Like everybody else just wrote vaguely about Halloween, and I wrote a goddamn horror story in poetry form. I'm very good at doing that. But yeah, so that was a good day for me. I'm very excited about that. I'm running on a high from that. But now I have to start, other stuff. So we'll see. Imagine making back-to-back championships and you're only remembered for the one you lost in spectacular fashion. Yep, to the Patriots. That's what I like about the Legion of Boom. 43-8. I very much remember the Seahawks' very first Super Bowl. If you haven't noticed, I never make fun of Russell Wilson's playability. Want to know why? I'll just say he's kind of corny, kind of a weird guy, but I'll never say he's a bad quarterback because he beat Peyton Manning. Drew Brees also holds that distinction where only time I ever criticized him was when he couldn't throw it over 20 yards. I was like, man, he's got a noodle arm now. If Brady starts noodle arming, guess what? I'll be like, man, Brady's got a noodle arm now. It's nothing personal. It's just I have to be honest about it. And I loved Drew Brees. Like I was like, Drew Brees is an American hero just like Russell Wilson. You don't understand. If you stopped Peyton Manning from getting a trophy, I genuinely loved you as a quarterback. Like I was like, oh man, I love the CO. I love the Legion of Boom. And then my team beat them, and I went, I love the Legion of Boom so much. One of my favorite teams. What's up, Kenny? Well, it's funny. This girl I've been talking to on and off too. She stayed up late to text me at 12 a.m. Just this. Hey, that's always nice. That's a good sign, Dale. Maybe see if she wants to go to the movies. I don't know if that's what people do on. Actually, that's not a good date. Go bowling or something. I keep forgetting that movies aren't a good idea because you don't get to talk to the person. It's just 2 hours sitting in silence, and it's expensive. Your new video? All right, hell yeah, Kenny. Hopefully it does well. I'll make sure I check it out after the stream. Is the new one good? I've never seen the first one. She's away for college. Oh, well, that's all right. Maybe go up there and see her sometime. Get to stay in does she stay in the dorms? That's always the shit. Back when I was in my freshman and my junior year when I lived in the dorms, oh man, there was nothing better than going to your girlfriend's dorm room. I never let that bitch sleep in my dorm rooms. I'm like, listen, let's just go to yours. It's way cleaner. It doesn't smell weird. There isn't going to be more random ass drunk dudes pile into this bitch. There isn't going to be. Okay, so in my freshman dorm room, did you guys have? If anybody else had, we lived 3 to a room, so it's me and 3 other people, and man, that shit was so awkward. Like people would wrestle and shit. They used to do under the covers wrestling in the hallway. Like it started out in our room and they just wrestle under the covers. It was some borderline homosexual behavior, but they were fully clothed. So I don't know why it was under the covers. It was just really weird. I guess so it was dark. I don't know. And the whole dorm floor got into. I was the referee, so I never participated. I can't wrestle. I got bad back. You go to school 4 miles? Yeah, that's fun. I love the dorms, though, dude. That shit was the shit. So it was always weird at my dorm room. People were always drunk and puking and shit. It was awful. But going to my girlfriend's dorm room, that was always clean, a good time. It was soft in there and shit. I love that place. That was nice. So I spent a lot of time there. I slept there most of the time. Fuck that other dorm room. I changed clothes there. Kept my drugs in there. And dipped. All right, guys. See you later. You guys have a good one. Oh, though, there was funny nights and funny memories in that fucking place. Everybody going to bed around the same time. People talking until they passed out. People fucking farting and shit. Giggling. You already took the day off to watch Black Panther? Oh, it's not came out yet? Oh, shit. Who's the new replacement for the guy who passed away, Chadwick Boseman? You picked the Bills to win over your Packers? That must have been tough, Kenny. You know, it's always the toughest thing when you have to pick a team over your team. I'll never pick the Jets over the Patriots. The Jets could be 13-0 and the Patriots not won a game yet in a season down the road. And I would be like, yeah, I think we'll beat the Jets. The Jets are just kind of a shit team. And everyone would be like, man, this guy really can't let it go. Yeah, I'll never let it go. Fuck that team. We'll probably beat them this weekend. And if we do, I'm going to laugh hysterically. Is it likely we'll beat them? I don't know. This is the first time since like the Mark Sanchez, Rex Ryan era where I'm like, I don't want to play the Jets this season. It was, I took like 2 minutes on the Packers game. Dang. In the movie, the character dies, but realistically, a different version will be introduced in 5. Okay. Yeah, I want to beat the Jets just to show everybody like... Okay, so I'm going to name a couple teams that I think have won the amount of game, like, are winning basically via luck. The Dolphins. Now, I'm going to start with the Dolphins, and I'm going to also go over the Jets. You may think, well, that's just Patriots fans being Patriots fans and shitting on the Jets and Dolphins because they're jealous. No, just imagine I'm not a Patriots fan for like 12 seconds while I explain, or for the next 2 minutes while I explain what's going on. How many interceptions did the Steelers drop against Tua? I'm just going to leave it at that. I can explain the Tua thing that simply, and all I'm going to say is, do you think like a good defense drops that many of those picks? If 2 of those picks get caught, do you think the Dolphins win that game? You gotta really stop and think about that. I don't know. Maybe not. Those were some bad. There should have been at least 5-6 picks in that game, and it's like unexcusable drop. They're not even like, no, it was kind of a bad. No, it was just like, no, they literally had the ball and he dropped it because he's the defensive back. Yeah, it was 16-10. 2 turnovers get caught. Miami loses that game. Miami's had a lot of games, if you go and watch, where they get extremely lucky with turnovers. Like a lot of dropped interceptions, a lot of fumbles that bounce back up into their bounce to one of their guys. Their defense also bails them out tremendously. With getting a lot of stops, turning back the ball over. So again, I don't really know if Miami's offense is actually real. I think the Jets are I'll go over the Jets instead. I think Miami, while I think they have good pieces, I think they're also getting incredibly lucky. Now, let's go over and slide to the Jets. Kenny, the Jets aren't this year's Bengals. They're not the Bengals. They See, I can't say that because Burrow was putting up... I mean, no, Joe Burrow looked like an NFL quarterback that was an NFL quarterback, like immediately. There was never a moment where you looked up at Joe Burrow play in the NFL and went, oh, he needs a little time. It was like, holy shit, is he good? So how is he good so quickly? It was one of them things where it was like, oh no, this is next. This guy's next. And everybody knew Joe Burrow was going to be a guy. What's up, though, Daniel? The Jets... While they have a very good defense and they had a very strong run game with Breece Hall, who was probably on his way to win Rookie of the Year as a running back somehow, which was going to be wild to watch. I genuinely do think he was winning Rookie of the Year. He was clearly on the path to do so, which would have been crazy in 2022 to actually see a running back win a major award like a Rookie of the Year type award. The run defense was very effective against the top rushing defense, no less. And we were up, so why would we ever throw that? Why do the talking heads, most of whom played, ignore these details? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because people just, again, I'll go over the Giants in a second too. But yeah, the Jets without Breece Hall, James Robinson's so-so. I'm not worried about him. But like, again, their offense is bad, dude. They're struggling to put up 20 points. Like, Zach Wilson has maybe 1-2 good drives a game and a lot of dropped picks. If the Broncos, again, maybe hold on to, how many picks did the Broncos drop? How many? I've heard it's like 6 or 7 goddamn picks that like were actually dropped against the Broncos. And I'm like, there's no way it was 6 or 7. And then I watch a compilation and it's like, whoa, how did they not pick him off more than 4 times? And I'm like, how are these? And it's like, if you go watch all of his games this year, it's the same story. There's a reason all of his receivers want to be traded. Elijah Moore. Now we see Denzel Mims. Who is next? Because he's not a good thrower. I wouldn't want him throwing the ball either. He's not the guy. And I don't know how it's going to go against the Patriots. Again, can the Patriots even score on this defense? I have no idea. I'm very nervous about this defense. I don't know if we can. I'm not going to even say it's a confident win. They can come to Big Blue. They won't even have to move. Jets fans? Nah, Jets fans are fine. I think it's cool to see the team look better. It's finally nice to see the Jets going in a direction. But they do need to find a real quarterback, though. Like, you know, Zach isn't it. And I've been calling this since the day he got drafted. I'm like, guys, the major issue is Zach Wilson. He has all the intangibles on Mims and Moore. Yeah, I'm surprised why won't the Jets trade those guys? Mims will never play for them. And so you might as well, you could get a good pick for him, like a 5th or a 6th round pick. Make it conditional 5th so it can become a 4th. Like, Mims has talent, and Moore, you could literally get back like a 1st or a 2nd round pick. Literally, so you can get a 2nd round pick for Mims. I don't know what they're doing. Or for Moore. Like, Moore makes no, I'd be like, all right, get rid of both of them. Fuck them. We don't need this in the locker room. Will the Packers do something? They need to, Kenny, desperately. Yeah, I don't know why people are so odd on the Giants this season. It feels one of the weirdest. Let's just ignore it. It's like, well, at some point, guys, like, we can't just keep ignoring the Giants here. I said earlier in the season, what if the Giants just kind of like accidentally move their whole team into like this? By the way, we have 5 likes. If you haven't left a like, consider doing so. Might help the stream out. Get a few more people in here. I would say that's probably the majority of people haven't left a like, but you know, that's fine. I know you all hate the channel, so it's all good. No, just kidding. But again, what if they just like accidentally literally just go like the Giants are like, I don't know, fucking 13-4 and they're like in the NFC Championship games. People are like, yeah, but I mean, they're not that serious. They win that game and they're in the Super Bowl, and people are like, yeah, but I mean, eventually they're going to lose and come back down to earth, right? I did this joke before when they were like 3-0, and I was like, what if they just accidentally go undefeated? And it's just like they're like 15-0, and everybody's like, yeah, but I mean, like, they're not that good. They're eventually gonna lose, and like they're undefeated. Yeah, who cares? It's not that big of a deal. Like, you know, they're gonna lose in the playoffs first game. They win, like they're in the Super Bowl. Everyone's just kind of like, whatever. Here it comes. Back down to earth, Giants. They're the it's the Super Bowl parade, and the Giants are champions. And people are like, all right, so when does the Giants come back down to earth? They start the next season off 0-3, and everybody's like, yeah, we fucking knew it. We knew it was bullshit. And that's exactly what'll happen to the Giants. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I just did. Every fucking game, there's an excuse for this team. Yeah, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Giants are going to come back down. Dude, I'm not even doing a joke. Like, that's literally what's been happening. I called this when they were 3-0. I said every week people are going to be like, yeah, but eventually they'll come back down to earth, right? Literally, Mike, exactly. If the Giants win 3 more games, they're a playoff team. Like, it's like hilarious. You got to think about that. Unless the Giants completely shit out this season, If they win 3 more games at 9 wins in the NFC, they're probably a playoff team. Instant. Like 10 wins? Can they win 4 more games? That's crazy, isn't it? You know why the Giants haven't had any competition? Because they're better than their competition. Sheesh. Maybe that's why it doesn't look like the Giants have played anybody. They're just beating the dog shit out of everybody. Yeah, as soon as you guys lose, I can already literally imagine, oh, that's the end of the Giants. Like a bunch of fucking dumb retards. God, I hate the NFL media. The second you guys lose, they're going to be like, Daniel Jones should be. Everybody's going to turn on Daniel Jones, even though he's not going to be right why you lost. And he's going to have solid, average, shitty numbers. You guys have stopped so many teams at like the 1 yard line this year, too. Like, you guys got, like, the Giants on your belt. You got the Jaguars stopped at the 1. I feel like every one of your wins is like, yeah, and then we stopped them inside the 5, and we won. It's like, man, that's a very convincing win. And everyone's like, yeah, fluke win. My friend just sent me a TikTok of a dude dancing that looks exact. Oh, that's creepy, Dale. You got a doppelganger. I feel like there are some crazy takes in Discord that come true, and nobody sees it. Oh, in our Discord? Yeah, we have some crazy ones. Yeah, the Giants are probably a playoff team, by the way. Like, that's the funniest part of this whole thing. And everyone's just like, yeah, they're eventually going to come back down to normal. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if teams figure out how to stop Daniel Jones and his new ability to run. Do you know how sudden that is on teams? Because Joe Judge is a dummy and didn't let him run? I don't know. What could be the biggest upset this week? Oh. Steelers over the Eagles. Lions over the Dolphins. Yeah, those are the 2 biggest. 2 playoff teams being upset by 2 teams that are going to be nowhere near it. I think I think those are your biggest potentials, but like the most likely the Patriots beating this 5-2 Jets team. Game of the weekend will be the Jags Broncos in London. Unironically, I think the Bears could upset the Cowboys if they play us, unless, we just suck at, I already know what it is. I'm glad other people are starting to point out that the Patriots, like, you can't really use like games against running quarterbacks as real games against the Patriots because it's like we're like mentally deficient against it. Because I started seeing actual people breaking down the stats of when the Patriots play like the Ravens, just quarterbacks like Justin Fields, wildcat situations. We're literal dog shit. Like our defense turns from like super competent to like everything goes to shit. We can't stop the normal run. We can't stop the quarterback run. We struggle with like stopping the pass. All of it. And it's just like a notable difference. It goes from very good defense to, boy, this guy might get fired soon if he keeps this coaching style up. And that's why the Patriots were getting cooked in the wild card era. That shit made me so angry. Or not wild card, wild. Do you guys remember wildcat era of the NFL? For about 7 weeks, teams were just running the wild card on wildcat on everybody, especially the Patriots. I think the Patriots went 0-6 against the Wildcat, and then we played the Dolphins again, who started it, and we held the Dolphins to like -10, maybe -10 yards running, and we ended the Wildcat mid-game. No one ever used it again after that. I'm not kidding. It started against the Patriots, and then we murdered it. And the next time we seen the Dolphins and the whole league win, oh, well, I guess we're done using that against these guys because they figured out how to finally stop it. And I'm like, I wish there was more running quarterbacks in the NFL so we could just play like 6 in a row so Bill could figure out how to stop this goddamn thing that plagues us. It's literally all the time. Literally every game. We lose like hilarious score. So I don't know what to take of the Bears. Me, they seem pretty good. I don't know why everyone thinks they stink. Panthers are bad. They got lucky. Missed the field goal. Panthers are bad. They'll get the first pick. The Lions might too. You know what's funny? The Browns. The Browns might pick in the top 10 based on the way the season's going. And you know what really sucks if you're a Browns fan? You're not picking in the top 10. You know who gets that pick? Them shitbags down in Houston. Right now, Houston's sitting on like 2 top 5 picks right now. They're like, listen, we're balling the fuck out. We got 2 top 10s, 1 top 5. We're killing this right now. Trading away that rapist was the greatest decision we ever made. Then in the second round, we got a top 5 second round and a top 2 top 10 second rounds. We got so many picks in the first 2 rounds of that draft. It's unreal. And it is. It's very unreal what the Texans have right now. And the fact that the Browns kind of suck bag of dicks this year. Oh, what a great twist for the old man. Houston could really get good really quick. And they always ignore we have practice squad receivers, ignore all the injuries. They ignore we lost 2 QBs against the Bears. Yeah, I don't know why everybody just ignores this against you guys. That one guy. It's a very odd thing with I think it's literally just because you guys were so bad for so long lately. What, you guys been bad since 2017, pretty much just like straight? Just like, yeah, it's been pretty bad. Yeah, I think it was 2017 was the, yeah. That boat trip really fucked us up. You guys really haven't been good since that day. I mean, no, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but like, the Patriots haven't been that good since 2019, but like, you know, we made the playoffs, so, you know. Oh, yeah. You know the Jets are about to run the shit out of fucking James Robinson. Yeah, my bad. That's the Patriots' fault. Did the Patriots really play in all them Super Bowls in a row? Yeah, we did. Mike, how many did we play in a row there? What? 16, 17 were we in the Super Bowl? Yeah, that was the Atlanta year. And then we played the Eagles and lost. Then we played the Rams and won, right? That's how that plays out. God damn, no wonder everybody. Yeah, because then it was like, or it was 15-16 Atlanta. Then we didn't go in 16-17. No, we definitely went in 16-17. So that was, you know, the year we don't like talking about. Yeah, no, I mean, we're shitbags. Being a Patriots fan, it's a tough life. Everybody's waiting on our downfall. It's fucking brutal. The world celebrates when we lose. Trust me. You guys don't know what it's like being a Patriots fan. You know how I always joke that it's tough being a Patriots fan? It's tough being a Patriots fan right now. We're not that good, and boy, oh boy, are people letting us have it. Mike, you got to admit, right now getting cooked online 24/7 is brutal. I can't even enjoy it because anytime I hear Patriots, I'm like, uh-oh. Because, you know, a lot of shows I watch, they just go hard. There's a Patriots fan on there, and he's fucking an asshole to everybody. And been tough. I mean, all the winning is nice, but like, you know, now we're not winning. It's yeah, I enjoy the jokes about the team, like, but like the straight lie. It's like, you know, Mac Jones has an attitude problem. It's like, shut the fuck up. If you're gonna talk shit about our inability to draft wide receivers. That stuff I find kind of actually funny. Cause it's like, yeah, Bill can shut his eyes and what's up, Ven? And fart out a fucking corner out of Digota, like Loyola for any college, some small college in Russia, he can just pull out a DB and be like, this guy's going to be good, and he is. It's hilarious. Lineman, same story. Generally, he's pretty he's like 50-50 with linebackers. That's kind of a The entire team got decimated injury. Manning was benched for Geno, which snapped the starting streak. 3-30. Yeah, that's got to be the worst season. What's up, though, Ven? How you doing, buddy? Been a kind of a weird NFL day. I would have to say. I'm wondering how things play out with hold on, I'll finish my thought in a second. Wonder how the trade deadline's going to play. I wonder who's at, because like this feels like a lot of trades already for an NFL season. Normally, I don't think we see this kind of movement. I don't think we normally see, like all this switch up, all this change, guys moved around in any kind of like official capacity like this. I mean, we've already seen like 4 major trades this before the deadline even's come. We've seen McCaffrey get moved to the Niners, James Robinson go to the Jets, Roquan Smith get traded. I believe the Commanders traded a guy too, or the Cowboys traded somebody, like Haskins or his. Hold on. And he's he's like a significantly good player too. It's not like this guy isn't any good. Oh yeah, Matt Ellinger took over for Matt Ryan. That's another big piece of news, by the way. I don't know if you guys had heard about that. Time for Matt Ryan to go be with his family. So that way his wife doesn't leave him too, Don't want that to happen. Because then everyone will make jokes about it. Ooh, because it's funny. Ooh. Poor Tom. What's that guy ever done to make everybody hate him so much? Everybody's been waiting for this. It's like, this guy, he's losing his marriage. It's like, what's funny about that? If you lost your marriage and everybody laughed at you, you'd be like, oh, that's not very nice. Fucking jerks. Next time you guys lose your bitches, I already know the routes I'm going. I'm making memes and shit. I'm gonna be mean to everybody. Poor Tom, dude. I hope he starts killing this league, man. I genuinely hope he wins the Super Bowl now, just so I could be like, hey, you guys should have fucking never been mean to him. You guys deserve watching him win number 8 now. Police. Even though I don't know, man, everybody's blaming Tom for the bad Bucs season, but it's like, man, if you guys just go and watch a little bit of the play, it's like, Tom isn't the problem on that football team. If he's on a team with an actual line, he'd be a pretty solid quarterback this year. I really want us to go trade Bailey Zappi down to Tampa and be like, yo, Tom, do you want to give it one last run? You could save us, win this division. Buffalo ain't that good. Scare the shit out of everybody, Tom. Come on back. We got a good line. Halfway decent receivers. Bring Mike Evans with you. Fuck, maybe you like New England a little better than that shithole down there. I'd take him back literally in a heartbeat. It wouldn't even. I'd be like, yo, yeah, we got a line for him. We got running backs. Don't worry about it, Tom. You can fucking work with Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, right? Yeah, we'd rip people apart with that team. We got all the pieces he'd really need to just dominate the shit out of people. But then again, I don't know how patient he'd be with like a rookie like Tyquan Thornton. So I don't know. The Patriots officially did name their starting quarterback, though. So the quarterback controversies come to a close. It sounds like Mac Jones is fully healthy and ready to play. Not really certain as to why they pulled him. I don't think we'll ever actually get a real answer as to why he got pulled in that game. No one's ever said it's been for play. They just kind of I actually think what it was this is what the official announcement from the team was. It was always going to be 1 quarter Mac and then the rest Zappi. Because they didn't want to rush Mac back from an injury. And that's why they lost. I'll guarantee you that's why this offense just looked like dog shit this week. It's like, yeah, never go with two quarterbacks. Just pick a guy and sit the other guy. It is what it is. Don't ever plan that again. Like, that was a weird thing by Bill. I don't know what the fuck the plan was with that. It had to just be to appease Max because his dumbass wasn't. I don't know. I watched some of his throws. The dude couldn't drive off his back foot very well or plant well. Whichever one was injured, I couldn't tell what was going on. But I was like, yeah, he shouldn't have been playing. What the fuck's he doing? Why didn't they just start Zappy and just tell Mac to sit for another week? Now, I mean, I've seen some pics from practice. He looks fine. He's driving the ball again. I'm like, all right, I guess he is healed now. I don't know what the difference is between. Maybe he's just on the not painkillers. He can actually like take some fucking cortisol shots and actually put weight on stuff. Should have kept Arians. Yeah, I think Bruce had to retire due to a health reason. Then everyone was at the Pats ruined Mac. It's his left. So it's his planning ankle. So he should be all right then. Yeah, I'm sure it was mutual. No, they didn't rush Mac. Bailey was playing just fine. But I actually think Bruce Arians might have retired for a very like low-key health reason. I don't know if he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think he's like super sick or anything like that. Nothing like super dramatic or drastic. But I do think that he has certain shit going on. I guess that's just like, for lack of a better word, I guess he's got shit going on where I don't know if he can travel long distances. You know, like he's kind of getting old. He's, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how else to better describe what I think's going on with Bruce. I just think that he's got weird health problems, and I don't think he can travel long distances. Because I mean, we already know he's had to retire before due to health concerns, very suddenly. Remember his first retirement when he was the coach of the Arizona Cardinals? So we know that he has like, you know, weird health where shit just kind of pops up and takes him out real quick. Otherwise, he'd probably still be the head coach. His retirement was way too sudden. There was no lead up to it. It was literally just like, yeah, Bruce Arians is retiring now. It's just like, oh, okay. So it's a health thing and he's keeping it quiet. Is my guess. Yeah, the Bucks just completely fell apart. Again, this is me and Mike have said this since the day Brady left New England. By the way, if you haven't left a like, consider doing so. We're kind of struggling on those. We only got 7. Bunch of people hate the stream. I knew it was true. But yeah, Tom's an actual problem that needs like solid coaching around him, or else he's just gonna turn into a dickhead. Pretty soon, we're gonna get the Brady versus AB fight, and my money's on Tom. I bet Tom would knock that little man out. Tom's like what, like a foot taller than this dude almost. He's a massive dude compared to AB. Plus, AB's been talking all that reckless shit. I've grown to dislike Antonio Brown now. I'm against Antonio Brown. I hope he goes to prison for the rest of his life for his crimes against Tom Brady. He's getting on Bernard Pollard level if he keeps this shit up. You know how happy I was when I found out he lost that lawsuit against the people he threw rocks at and now has to pay them $1.2 million. I'm very happy that karma hit him. But yeah, that's what happens when you fuck over a guy who's been nothing but good to you. Fuck did Brady ever do to you? Yeah, I mean he's fucking. I mean, he's gonna. I mean, dude, he's just losing. He's taking massive L's, man. Bad karma. Man's gonna have to unretire and go back into the he's gonna have to come back again. And you know that Brady and company will start taking shots. They'll be like doing that, put that shit on, and they'll be putting him in some fucking. They'll be putting him in Lions fucking colors because that's the only team that'll sign him. Just like when he tried to go to college and the only team that would take him is a garbage team like CMU. Loser. Spell Antonio on the first try. Go. I bet you if you had told him to do that, he wouldn't be able to get it right. I'd be like, just spell your name right on the first try. Go. Can't look it up either. Go right now. Spell it. Right now. He'd mess up. I guarantee you. He'd be like, I don't know if I could spell Antonio. That's a tough name. I'm not going to give you any slack on that, man. It's your first name. It's been the one with you for your whole life. You know, he just puts the I and the O in the wrong spot. He's like, man, it's just, when my parents give me this name, how couldn't it have just been Chris or Rex? One good syllable. Sorry. I'm upset. I don't like it when people make fun of Tom Brady and I can't get at them. There's no way I can actually get at Antonio Brown unless he's for some reason stumbles upon my live streams and wants to come yell. And then I'll yell back at him. I don't give a fuck. See, the only problem is if he finds out I'm in Central Michigan, I might get beat up because he knows this whole place. I don't want to actually deal with any of that. He went to school here, so it's kind of like, uh-oh. Can't really hide from him. If yeah, you'll never find me on Central's campus. I'll even tell you what building I'm in. Good mistake. Anyway, what else we got for good news? That's troubling. Ron Rivera missed practice today for a personal reason. You never like seeing something like that, right? From a guy who's like recently recovering from cancer, who just recently beat cancer, and now you're like, oh no, why has he got to miss practice for a personal reason? That could be a wide-ranging things of like, well, that isn't good. No, that's not that big of a deal. No reason to overreact. It was Wentz. Yeah. I just don't want to be around Carson. Like, really? That's the reason? Yeah, I'm pretty good. You ever been around that guy for more than like 20, 30 minutes? It sucks. Hey, we're up to 9 likes now, too. This is pretty. Stream's chugging along with its 5 viewers. I don't know why these new streams just never do good. It's like the only stream on the channel now that just doesn't do good. Everything else has good numbers. I think it's literally because it's the news. I'm probably gonna have to find a new name for this. I don't think YouTube lets anybody talk about news. Unless they put progressive NFL news. I wonder if I did that, it just fills up with 1 million people. I'd be like, what the fuck? They're like, yes, you're gonna talk about progressive stuff? Yeah, pretty fucking gay how there aren't any women in the NFL, huh? They're like, did he just say fucking gay? Wait, is that not SJW? Thought I was saying there should be bitches in the NFL. What's wrong with that? I said, where the hoes at? I don't think all male cheerleaders are fags. Like, what's the big deal? What's up, Daniel? Wait, did the Astros lose? Yeah, did you? Yeah, I seen Robert Quinn got traded out of Chicago, Ven. You see his ass was like crying. I don't know if that's real tears or not because I fully believe he's going to go back to Chicago as soon as the season ends. It's just like, I feel like that was a work. Like, we're getting the wool pulled over our eyes in that situation. But again, I often think that there's always more conspiracy theories that are going on that never actually are. Robert Quinn might play like a game in Philly and be like, yeah, I'm never leaving. I actually prefer this. This is way more fun. I forgot. Yeah, these guys, the Bears sucked. Dude, he was all crying and shit. He had to leave the press conference and shit. Mans was fucking in tears, and I actually kind of felt bad for him. But again, I don't necessarily know if those were real tears or if he was like faking it to try to. I don't know what was going on. That seemed weird. Maybe it was tears of happiness. Daniel Jones was player of the week in things you probably didn't expect you'd hear this NFL season. He had over 300 yards, 100 rushing, 200 plus passing. You know what's funny, and nobody probably wants to hear the following phrase come out of my mouth? Right now, Daniel Jones and Geno Smith are like leading like NFC like MVP candidates. I don't know what that would be. I don't know if there's a specific award. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, or is that just one award? I think those are all one awards. But Daniel Jones is certainly like weirdly in the MVP discussion. If he wasn't their quarterback, actually they probably still would be winning. Let's take him out of that. I don't is he? I don't know what we consider Daniel. What do you guys think of Daniel Jones right now? What do we think? Is he still a shitty bad quarterback that's not any good and is the worst quarterback of all starting 32 like we thought at the start of the year? Or maybe it was like I've been trying to tell people for multiple years now about this. And again, I've been accused of defending Daniel Jones by every Giants fan, so I guess I'm like the only person who's like ever believed. Me and Mike and Chase are the only people who unironically believed in Daniel Jones this whole time. Again, as soon as I seen that dude run that as fast as he did, I went, as soon as he gets a coach that remembers he can run the ball, he's going to be so dangerous. And now he's got a coach who knows that he can run the ball. And boy, oh boy, does Daniel Jones look like a different quarterback, doesn't he? And what has been my saying though since 2018 when I started this channel, a bad quarterback or a good, like, you can't really tell what a player is if they have a bad offensive line, a bad set of receivers, a bad running back, a bad coach, because all those things, if all of those things are true and everything is bad around you, you can be a great quarterback, but you're gonna only be good to above average because you can't like make shit. You can't turn shit into gold. You can turn it to maybe I don't know, like less smelly doo doo, but you can't do that much. And if you're an above average quarterback and that's all true, then you're gonna look average, bad even. And if you're just an average quarterback, you're going to look bad, terrible maybe. Like you just don't belong in the league. And that's always been kind of my argument with Daniel Jones and for Daniel Jones is like, do we know that for sure that he's a bad quarterback? Or is he a situation where he's a terrible quarterback? But if you give him like a decent line, a decent coach, decent receivers, and a one other player, is he a good player? And I think the answer, or is he at least average? And that's always been my argument with Jones. Every season he's been in the league, yeah, he gets hurt a lot because of the line. There's just so much that I thought people were a little overzealous about with Daniel Jones. And again, I get like being a little impatient and like not liking what you're saying. But again, you also got to remember this dude had four different offensive. He's on four different. This is his fourth different offensive coordinator in 5 NFL seasons. Dude, that's an actual insane number. Like, you got to think about that number really quickly. 4 coordinators, 5 NFL seasons. This dude's been in 4 different NFL offenses, and he has to learn them all. Almost every year, it's a brand new offense he's got to learn. That's actually pretty crazy. Again, do you think something like that would make a quarterback better or worse every year? I don't know. I've always tended to go in one direction. It makes the people worse. Good situation makes you play a little better. A bad situation makes you play a little worse. I think that is universally true. Mara did admit we did everything to screw him over. Yeah, but I'm glad people are just admitting like they fucked up. Like they just put a bad team around that kid. And it's not like I don't even know if it was malicious. I genuinely think they just got bad into like they just missed on a lot there. They were missing on offensive linemen, like Saquon Barkley couldn't stay healthy. Receivers just couldn't stay healthy. Receivers kind of just hit and you missed on them. There's not like you can only do so much. Like it's just like sometimes shit just goes like you just miss. And again, you'll probably get fired if you have too many bad ones, but you know. Generally, I'd say a successful draft is hitting on 3 or 4 people. Getting a solid or 1 or 2 starters and a backup is probably a pretty good draft every year. I don't know. You know, a lot of guys fail out. A lot of guys get hit like one time at the NFL level and go, yeah, I'm going to finish up the day, but then I'm going to quit. That would have probably been as far as I made it. I'd have been like an undrafted free agent if I had any talent. I'd have gone in there. I'd have fucking got hit one time and I'd have handed my shit over to the coach. Been like, yeah, I don't actually want to play that bad anymore. Why? That ain't for me, coach. You're a kicker, dude. You'll never get hit again. The risk is too high. You have a nice day. And then I'll leave, never to be seen again. I'm going to take that risk. Get CTE as a kicker. You know how embarrassing that shit would be? You're at the CTE party with the other NFL vets, and you're like, yeah, I got it pretty bad too. Man, you kicked. You're just like, yeah, I just don't have very many friends. You guys are all I got. Bunch of murderous potential psychopaths. This is fun. I'm in serious danger here. Yeah, that would be scary, right? If you went to a CTE party where everybody had like really bad CTE. What kind of wild ass shit do you think would happen at a party like that? Like OJ and pre-suicide Aaron Hernandez. Well, a lot of these guys all killed themselves, so they wouldn't be a very fun party. There'd be a lot of dead bodies strewn about. And OJ would be like the only alive guy there. He'd be like, I'm just chilling. And be like, well, I guess that's pretty cool. I guess Antonio Brown would be there. He'd be the musical guest. I might actually want to go to that party. Sit there and talk to OJ for a little while. But man, I can't believe they framed an innocent black man with that fucking murders. When that dude clearly killed himself. Or killed that lady and then tried to kill himself. And then OJ would be like, no. And I'd be like, yeah, fucking bullshit, dude. I never believed you could do that as one of the Buffalo Bills' greatest all-time players ever. One of their franchise icons who also killed 2 people. Well, allegedly. I don't think OJ did it. You'll never convince me otherwise. That glove did not fit his hand. So... To me, there's just a crazed murderer running around that just is laughing because OJ got blamed for something he did. Probably that fucking creepy Ron Goldman guy. Probably the dad. I think he did it for the insurance money. You know what they say? You know what Kanye says about them people. No, I'm just fucking kidding. I'm sorry. That was a fucked up joke. No. I have class and Monday Night Football. I'm too old for Halloween. Unless I get invited to a party, then I'm gonna go do that. Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean to Brandon Cooks because I like him, but it's like I feel like that guy's always getting on the trade block. If like you ever need a receiver, you can just kind of call whatever team has Brandon Cooks and be like, "Can we get Brandon Cooks for a few months? We'll give him back in the offseason." And the Texans go, it's the Texans, isn't it? And it's usually the Texans where you'll find Brandon Cooks. You just rent him out from the Texans for a couple months. That's all that really is. I feel like he never finishes the season on the Texans, but like you can go back and look and he's always on the Texans. It's fucking eerie. Like, yeah, this trade will put me back in Houston on when the season ends, correct? Chiefs, Rams, and Green Bay. Yeah, he always goes to a good team, too. I swear to God, he was just on the Rams last year. Like I thought he was a Ram. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I swear to God, he was just on the Rams last year, and now he's back on the Texans, where he always is. It's one of the creepiest things I think I've ever had to deal with. If I'm going to be honest. It's like, how are you always a Houston Texan? Don't you have a Super Bowl ring with the Rams? What the fuck is this? Yeah, Chiefs and Green Bay should actually trade for him. Green Bay needs to like drop their pride and go give him a receiver. There hasn't been a series. Yeah, that's true. Well, to be fair, nobody wants to like. It's weird because it's like teams should want to trade for him because he's actually a good wide receiver. It's always one of the more baffling things to me with the guy. Like, do people think he's like a bad receiver or something? Cooks? Because he's good. I just don't understand. Like, I've always had the question of he must be like a clubhouse cancer or something. You're going to a party at the local drop-in center. Oh, that's pretty sweet. It sounds like a good time. Hey, we're up at 10 likes, by the way. I appreciate that, everybody. Helps us stream out quite a bit. You're not beating a soul scoring 3 points? Yeah, probably not. Byron Leftwich with the astute observation here. You can't win only scoring 3 points. Yeah, that's about as deep and insightful as like, you can't win if you score 0. Yeah, I don't know why his statement is considered headline news on NFL.com, but that's yeah, generally probably not. That's like a low 90% chance of winning. Or low 10s, like 8% shot. Just maybe if you get a shutout, I guess. Dude, if the 85 Bears played a team today, they could average 2 points a game and win every game. Nobody would score on all them slow ass dudes at corner. A bunch of practice squad receivers wouldn't leave all them dudes in the fucking dust. Yeah, those fucking idiots. I hate that so much. I feel like all them teams back in like the 80s would kind of suck against the modern NFL team. They'd see Jamar Chase and be like, that isn't very fair, you know that? What do you mean? Yeah, he's... The other team comes over and be like, hey, I don't mean to like complain, but he can't play. Wait, why? He's far too quick. Human being, he's clearly not a person. Human beings don't move like that. Yeah, in about 40, 50 years, you guys will. Don't worry. Your grandkids are all going to move like that. It's going to be crazy to watch. Clay Matthews Sr. comes up just screaming profanity, like racial slurs and shit. It's like, oh, I didn't want to learn this about this guy. That sucks. Yeah, theoretical NFL is a lot more fun in my head than the real NFL. Real NFL doesn't have WWE drama. Kinda. Oh, it was Jonathan Hankins. That's what. You didn't realize? Yeah, he's got a rainbow. He's got live, laugh, love. On his upper thigh. Bunch of really weird tattoos that you wouldn't expect from a guy named Dak. But then you learn his name is Rain, and you're like, okay, I get it. He's got a bunch of girl tattoos. Got a weird daisy on his ankle. Nobody really... It's not cool, but it's like, all right, I guess that works, Dak. That's pretty sweet. He's like, I got the infinity symbol on my wrist, so it's like I throw touchdowns for forever. All right, man, Yeah, cool, Dak. Why do you keep getting all these fucking feminine ass tattoos? What? Then he gets like, he's like, dude, I got the yin and yang symbol on my lower back. Like, all right, dude. Yeah, I mean, it was his first game back after like 5 or 6, like, after missing half the season of injury. So he'll be all right. Yeah, he'll get it going. It's kind of worrying that he didn't get it going against a pretty shitty defense until the very last quarter when Detroit was demoralized. But I'm sure they'll be fine. People are like, he didn't look good in the very first game of the season either. Yeah, so. Dak didn't look good after having a major hand injury. Yeah. Not you, Ben, but you're like, because you're adding the nuance. Other people being weird about it, it's like, oh, is he supposed to come back and be superhuman? No. The answer to that question is no. Then why did he come back? Because these guys aren't pussies. Jesus Christ. Everyone's like, these guys shouldn't, if they're not that hurt, they should be playing. And then when they do come play hurt, they're like, why aren't they playing like they're not hurt? No excuse. He literally just said he should play hurt, and now he's trying to play hurt, and it's not as good as you want, and now you're mad because he's not playing. What do you prefer, him just to not play? Yeah! You were literally crying because you said the game's too soft and guys miss too many games for injuries that they should try to play through. I want the old NFL back. Where guys would play with a broken neck and missing kneecap. No one's ever played with those very specific ramifications. Not knowingly, anyway. Yeah, I'd play with broken rib. I want the old NFL back. All right, how about you watch this 12-7 Commanders win over the Bears? That shit was so boring. Where's all the touchdowns like they used to score? He doesn't know. I love when you find someone who just like loves old school football and like preaches and wants it back, and like they want like 90s era and 80s era football back. And it was like, are you sure you want that? And they're like, oh dude, I would love it to come back. It'd be so much better football. It's like, all right, well, what happens when you watch, them games where it's like 14-10 and you cry about it? Yeah, I don't like it when games don't have a lot of points. It's really fucking boring, dude. I hate defensive games. I don't know how to take people like that serious. I don't know how to not be like, what the fuck how do you not understand the giant ass contradiction in your logic? It's like, do you think that every old NFL game was like 63-56 or something? Yeah, like low key kinda. Like, what's up, JJ? Like low key, every game did used to be like 70-63. Like, it almost just feels weird. Like people like must think that it's like, no, average scores probably were like 21-14, if that. I'd say like 17 to like 12 and 13 would be like your average game. Games people today would fucking call terrible, worse games, boring as shit. No, people don't want the old NFL to come back, because when it does occasionally pop up, or whenever it does, like a relic from a bygone era does appear and like does something from the old NFL, everybody has a fucking panic attack. Literally every single person associated with football, when Vontaze Burfict went old school on Antonio Brown, and I think another player, they kicked him out of the league and people acted like he done killed somebody. All he did was hit somebody that, in a way, 10 years ago, nobody would have even talked twice about. Hell, if Vontaze would have came into the league at the same time as Ray Lewis, he'd be a Hall of Famer too. That's like actual truth about him. He was literally a good fucking linebacker until they changed the rules on him. And people did not like him. People fucking hate Vontez Burfict for the way he hit people. That's how I know people actually don't want the old NFL to come back, because people get pissed off when they see headhunting now. They don't like seeing that. They think people should be thrown out of the game for doing it. They agree with that sentiment. And it's like, oh, okay, so generally people don't actually want the old NFL back. Got it. Dude, that would literally be like a hit they'd run on video games and shit. That literally it'd be one of the big hits of a decade. You're entirely right. They'd market around that hit that Vontez laid on Antonio 10, 15 years ago. Dude, literally, everybody loved that Chiefs-Rams game because there was a lot of points and barely any defense. That is not an old NFL football. Nobody wants the old NFL back. They're just saying that. They're like, I don't know why they keep lying to you. Anytime somebody says that, challenge them. Pull up, like, what do you think about this 14-7 game? What do you think about the Broncos primetime games? Those are actually very good old school football games. Believe it or not, that's like the Broncos. If you're a fan of old school football, you probably really enjoy watching the Broncos. Want to know why? Because they play old school style football. Defense, run the ball, and barely can pass the ball. That's like an average old school football team. Why do people get so bored watching them? That's weird. Why is that? They're really good on defense like old school teams are. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That shit fucking blows butthole, doesn't it? Nobody wants the old NFL back. It's a lie. That's my thesis statement. And I'll always win this argument against somebody unless they're very consistent. They go, nope, hate all scoring. Fucking hate it. I'd be like, all right, fair enough. And I would respect that person because, you know what? If you're consistent with it, I don't give a fuck. Like, all right, fair enough. You hate this new era. They're like, yeah, dude, I watched some of the old games and I want that. All right. If a team can run the shit out of it, that's cool. I guess that's what you prefer. I don't. Sean McVay recalls reaction. Oh, fuck, they're getting another great player. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Watching what McVay does, or what Shanahan does to McVay this weekend. By the way, I grew like a discontent of the Rams. Did they win today or something? Well, the Phillies up 1-0? That's pretty sweet. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. You can only be kind of, you can only be happy about stuff like that. No, game one is on Friday. Oh, we'll see. I don't know. The Astros might win it all. Plus, I don't really like the Phillies because they beat one of my teams. I kind of, Is that really what he's acting like? Is that supposed to be ironic or something? Like when they tried laughing about the Cole Strange thing, and then he got roasted, and then he came out and tried to say like, we were gonna draft him, and like they're like, no, they misinterpreted that one. Is this like a shade thing? It's like, McVay, everybody knows you tried. Carolina hoed you out. What are you doing? We just know that your bum-ass team had to call them up like idiots and go, listen, we'll offer you multiple first. These first-round picks are as good as gold as soon as 2027 rolls around. All right? 2027, 2028, you'll have 2 more first-round picks. That's only 5 and 6 years down the road. All right? 4 if you don't count this year, and 5 if you don't count this year. All right, we'll give you future first and Cam Akers. And they went, man, no, that sucks. And then they hung the phone up on him. Damn, and McVay went, damn. Yeah, so I wonder if the Rams at this point are like kind of regretting trading away like all of their picks until the 3rd round for like 4 straight drafts. Because it's like, boy, you guys could really use some offensive line. That'd be a big shame if, like, a bunch of teams just drafted offensive linemen before you got any opportunity to pick, and nobody's going to trade you up in the draft. Because you guys, you remember your GM shirt that said, fuck these picks? Yeah, you could have used them to get Christian McCaffrey. Yeesh. Maybe shouldn't have traded him all the way for, for a Super Bowl. But I guess they got their ring out of it. That's all year. Why? What's the why? That's a pretty good W. But if your goal was a dynasty or a multi-year stand, I don't think this was the move to make. Like, yeah, we didn't really think we were going to last as long as we did. And we sort of did, and no, we're kind of fucked. And I don't know. Ooh, power rankings. I'm going to have my power rankings out tomorrow. That's going to be cool. How did that ever even do? I never even looked at that video. Too harsh. Go look. Wonder if I ever got 100 on it. 97. That's not too bad. I'll make sure I upload again tomorrow. Hopefully it does a little better. Oh, how's the stream doing? 74. That's not bad. 10 likes, pretty good. Pretty good. I appreciate that. How's my pics video doing? Oh, it's officially at that stage now where it's like, I don't know how many views it's actually at. Quite a few. Almost at 4,500. Nobody wants to see your nasty pussy. So the Patriots fucked everything up. Well, oh well. That was a stupid move by the Patriots. Everybody knows it. What do we got at the top of the stuff? So yeah, Sheila Ford Hamp expressed support for the Lions front office and head coach following their 1-5 start. Good thing, bad thing. I think it's an okay thing to stick by a coach in year 2 of what's already was supposed to be a multi-year rebuild. One of the things that are kind of annoying about like things like Hard Knocks is they can kind of like artificially raise fans' expectations, and then people start like believing the team should have achieved to their expectations, right? It's fine to have individual expectations and be kind of bummed out because they didn't hit them. But like, you got to remember, you're like not an NFL talent evaluator. Like I'm not, like most people aren't. Like you can't evaluate a team based on your weird expectations of like, well, I expected a team I like to get about 12 wins. You know. It's just like, yeah, I get it, dude, but it's like, what are you basing that on? The Lions were always kind of like a maybe 6-win team. But again, I think people got kind of bought way too hard into like Campbell in year 2. They didn't have a defense heading in. I think receivers are more important. Yeah, receivers are way more important than running backs in this year. But I think running may come back. Keep an eye out for that, by the way. I have a feeling like it's going to go like this, right? Like, because I think everything in the NFL kind of goes around like this, in this weird circle. But I think now that teams are getting smaller and a little bit more athletic to deal with running quarterbacks and guys who can throw, like who can catch, like super speed receivers, we're seeing a lot more like formations that kind of trend toward like multiple defensive backs, not so much focus on the defensive front. Like maybe like 3 guys, 4 guys rush in and the rest kind of play back in the coverage. I think we're going to see teams start slowly realizing that they could power load their offense and just kind of run all over everybody. There will be a small trend back in the coming years. I would say by 2024, we'll see running backs gain a weird significance in the league again. Yeah, the Eagles kind of do it now. The Patriots kind of do it right now. The Browns kind of do it right now. The Raiders are doing it right now, where they kind of more just power run and just blow right by people. Josh Jacobs is a great example. The Patriots are trying to do it with Ramondre Stevenson. They're getting there. Like the Eagles are trying to do it right now with their quarterback running situation. Like, there is something to note that you will probably see the rise. Yeah, the Giants are doing it. You'll see the rise of the run. Teams just running over small, unphysical defenses. Yep. It's something you can look at and be like, oh, wait a minute, this is kind of correct. There's like a small resurgence of running. By 2024, I think the running back position will actually be viable again, but it's going to take the next couple seasons. It may not be till the 2025 season we actually see it as a position people hold with some kind of esteem again. I would imagine we'll see our first offensive player of the year as a really good running back. Like we'll start seeing more of that again, especially as running backs nowadays also seem to be very good at catching the pass, because that used to not be as like a surefire thing. Now that it is, and running backs are becoming more sure-handed, they're getting better in the screen game. They're more important in a passing game. It's a very dangerous weapon you can have back there. But league's going to have to go through a little change, and then teams will start like keying on runs, so it'll be stopped, and teams will pass again. And it's just like, damn, this league's really going to become cyclical. Go through like ebbs and lows, highs and dips and valleys and shit like that, just to kind of try to figure out what this league is going to look like. My throat's dry as shit. I think I need to go get some soda real fast. I'll be right back in like 2 seconds, okay? But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If I don't, my shit's gonna dry up. I'm gonna be fucking feeling miserable. You guys don't mind waiting a sec? I'm literally only gonna be gone for... You can probably count to 12 seconds and I'll be back. Yeah, I'll talk about Matt Ryan in a second. Already back. That was quick, see? Sorry about that. Oh man, I'm fucking freezing. 39 degrees. And I just came into conscious realization of that, of how cold it is, outside of this room, where there isn't a giant fucking computer generating heat. Oh, I hate the winter. It's coming. It's like that stupid show, Game of Rings or whatever it's called, where they all have sex with each other and they fuck dragons, and there's a big old guy who kind of looks a little creepy named George Martin, and I don't know much about this. I'm telling you, that's as much as I know about this. And they're always like, oh, winter's coming. And it's like, oh, I know it's coming. It's literally fucking almost November. It's all I know of that entire series is that one line. And they say that while they're having incest sex. That's all I know about the show, is there's tons of creepy shit like that in it. I don't know why everybody likes it. In all honesty, people who watch that seem rather degenerate, and I'm ashamed in anyone who thinks it's a good show. I don't like anything medieval, by the way. All that stuff is gay. I'm the only one who thinks this, by the way. I'm me and like 6 other contrarian dickheads are the only people who think this. But I also, the only thing I like that's like medieval styled or like old styled is RuneScape. Everything else, if it's not RuneScape, is not good. Like to me, I think that the world of Gielinor, which is the world that RuneScape is in, is way better than all the faggoty little like hobbits that Tolkien made up. Yeah, I think RuneScape's got way better lore than all of Lord of the Rings put together. Well, it's just simple facts. Anyway, back on topic. Sam Ellinger. How do you say his name? Ellinger? I hate names like that, dude. It reminds me of a baseball last name. Like baseball last names are never how you think they're gonna be said. Because there's like 20 different, like for some reason they're born with like shitty last names. Ellinger. Yeah, I've heard it's like Ellinger. But I feel like I'm saying a bad word when I say that. Because I have a weird accent. Go Ravens, Bulls, Vikings, Sun, Rangers, Phillies. Now my Dodgers out. I don't care about championship in baseball. Fair enough. I don't either. Tigers got cheated out of a playoff appearance this year. I don't know if you guys heard about it. They pretty much proved in court that there was votes, score switching machines that switched the runs that the Tigers would score over to the other team in every single game they lost. It was pretty disgusting. Tigers actually went 162-0. Believe it or not. I usually don't get into NBA stuff until after NFL, but man, the Lakers look rough. Yeah, it's pretty bad. LeBron needs to get traded away from there and go to a good team so he can win another title this year. Make Jordan fans nervous with number 5. That shit would be hilarious. I wish I actually liked the NBA somewhat. That way my fandom wouldn't just be like, boy, if I say this will make Jordan fans pretty angry. Like, that's what my basic NBA fandom consists of, is what stuff don't Jordan people like? All right, I'll say how good Pippen is all the time. And I'll never talk good about overrated Michael Jordan. Lakers will probably win the title this year. Well, no, LeBron's got to get out of there. Go to the Warriors. LeBron on the Warriors would really help them get another title. Otherwise, I think it'll go to LeBron's arch nemesis, Kevin Durant. Ugh. He's scary, dude. He's all tall as shit and bald. No, I'm just kidding. I seen a picture of him where he like actually let it all go finally, and it's like, all right, Kevin, you look pretty sweet now, dude. Like, he actually looks kind of cool with like the bald head and shit. It's like, oh, okay, you actually look pretty dope bald, dude. I don't know why you didn't let that shit go earlier. Yeah, he's getting pretty. Yeah, he's at the end of his career. I mean, the guy's been playing basketball for my whole life. I feel like I don't think I've ever watched the NBA where he wasn't in it. Knicks 3-1, come to New York. I mean, probably wants to, like, low key, be a Piston, play with Cade Ivy. That's something. Oh man, that's some spicy pop. You haven't really drank a lot of pop when you fucking in a day, when you take a like a good sip of pop and it fucking like roasts on the top of your mouth, like the roof of your mouth. You're like, damn, that was a good fucking drink. That's that experience you live for right there. That's the shit. It's like, oh yeah, I needed that. Like, damn, dude, what a fucking. You okay, Rob? Do you need to go to like pop drinkers anonymous? It's just like a sad place where you're just like, there's like 700. There's like 3 guys and there's like 900 pounds between the 3 of them, and you're like, holy fuck, where am I? Some guy on a rascal scooter comes up drinking fucking carbonated water, and he's like, welcome everybody to Soda Anonymous, Soda Drinkers Anonymous, or SDA. My name's Brother Jim. And everyone's like, hello, Jim. And he's like, all right, who here relapsed this weekend? Everybody puts their hand up. Yeah. That's what it'd be like at the Soda Drinkers Anonymous. Everybody's quite large except like 3 guys with no teeth. And me. LeBron wants to play with his son, so whoever drafts his sons after 2. Yeah, exactly. If his sons make it to the NBA, you know, I'm sure they will. Especially his older one. Or actually, I don't know. I don't really know much about his kids. I know that at one point they were pretty highly thought of. I don't know about now though. I don't really, follow it too closely. Probably should though. Probably should. Damn, streams went by pretty quick. It's already been an hour and a half. What else? What else have we not talked about? I'm gonna look at a few things real quick and make sure I'm not like missing anything. So do we believe that ball hit the skywire line? And even if it did, do you think it really fucking matters? If you don't know, Mac Jones threw a ball that kind of looks like it might have hit a wire, but I don't. There's some people, like, I feel like more non-Patriots fans are making a big deal about that. I haven't seen most Patriots fans hear that and go, yeah, it doesn't really fucking change anything. Like, what are we doing? Are you guys giving us an excuse? Can we say we lost because of that? Or did we lose because we couldn't stop the fucking run? We're the only honest team about when we lose, by the way. I've noticed a lot of other people will make a million excuses under the sun. But if you ask why a Patriots fan lost this weekend, do you know what 100% of them will tell you? 100% of them. Well, we couldn't stop the run. Yeah, that's nice excuse. What's the excuse? That's why we actually lost. We couldn't stop anyone from running the ball. If you ask a Bills fan when they lose, they will tell you every other reason except their play. It's a fun thing to think about. That's with most teams, though. They'll be like, yeah, we lost because, the refs. You lost by 35 points. Yeah, Skip doesn't know what he's talking about. Mac probably doesn't listen that well to No Coach. I've never in my life once heard Mac Jones doesn't listen to coaching. That just sounds like something somebody made up one time just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? It's like, what? Then if he didn't listen, he'd just be removed from the team. It's not that deep. Like, I wonder where people get these, like, takes. It's just like, do you just make it up? Like, do you actually, like, have anything that backs like something like something like that up, or is it just like, yeah, no, I just kind of feel like he doesn't listen to him for some reason, because Bill's used to players not listening to him. He puts up with rookies and second-year players just shrugging him off. Yeah, I quit listening to Skip Bayless a long time ago at this point. He just doesn't, he like literally just kind of just doesn't make sense too often now. He's just like, Bill Belichick threatened to kill a guy in 96. Huh? Yeah, that's just fake news. Like, just like isn't like something that actually happened. Why would Skip know that? Why would the media know medical information that the Patriots don't give out? That's not real. That's probably just as real as the reports of like Mac Jones having an attitude problem because and ordering the team to start fucking Brian Hoyer over Bailey Zappi against Green Bay. The fuck kind of weird shit is this? Suddenly Mac's just like, no, I don't do surgery. No, that didn't happen. Him and the team agreed to get a second opinion after the first doctor suggested surgery. And then like 2 or 3 more doctors said he didn't need surgery the next day. And everybody went, oh, that's good. And then they moved on. That's literally what happened. I don't know where this whole narrative about any of this is coming from. This sounds like the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick narrative bullshit that happened for 18 straight years. Oh, they hate each other. Tom literally wants to kill Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick literally stabs Brady every day at practice in the stomach 63 times in non-vital location. Then cauterizes each of the wounds closed with a barely lit branding thing that says Bill Belichick's pussy boy. What? I don't think that happens. No, it does. It does. He and Tom fucks Bill in the butthole every day. No, that's not real. They probably got along just fine. God, I hate all of that shit. It's just the dumbest fucking nothing. Like, they can't ever prove any, like, I don't know, Brady and Belichick had like a 3-hour conversation after the Patriots played the Bucks just by themselves. Everything I've ever seen of those two, they're getting along perfectly. Like, I'm like, man, I must have missed the like rift that never happened. Well, he left the Patriots. Yeah, because the Patriots were entering a very obvious rebuild, and Tom was at the end of his career. He doesn't want to go through a rebuild. Boy, I wonder if there's a problem in New England. No, he's 42, and any year could be his last. So he'd prefer to, go out like winning football games. When he retires as a Patriot, that's probably when he's actually done playing football. That should always make you suspicious to like no 1-day contract with New England. Until that happens, I would imagine he's not retiring. Didn't even Peyton Manning sign a 1-day contract with the Colts and retire with Indy? Like, it's like, I know he was like on Denver, but I'm pretty sure he retired as a Colt, right? I mean, he could have not. He could have retired as a fucking Bronco. The only plays he was relevant. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. There's like nobody here anymore. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. It's down to like 3 people. Unless there's like a bunch of people and it's just doing that thing it does on news streams where it tells me I have 0 people watching and I have no idea. I don't actually trust the YouTube view counter anymore. Because for a lot of streams I do, it like the more people come in, it just takes away views. Like it just starts minusing them. So I don't actually know how that works. It's like, oh, a new person, 1 less person. Well, I mean, Indiana sucks ass, dude. Why the fuck? What are you gonna do in Indiana? Fucking be bored all the time? Ooh, fun. Get chased by a bunch of fucking racists. Oh, cool. This is good times. In this state with nothing to do. Ooh. Yeah, Indiana looks like a shit state. I've been in it. It fucking blows, dude. All they got there is just fucking Indianapolis, and that place isn't great. I guess they got a few colleges though. If you like mediocre sports. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for a fun night. Would have stayed a little longer, but it's already midnight, and I'm kind of tired tonight, so apologize for that. Thank you guys for those who tuned in and left a like. I appreciate that, even though we only got 10 of them. I don't know. Pretty good, pretty solid, I guess. Pretty disappointed. But yeah, I'm gonna come up with a new name for this stream that we do, because I don't think shoving the word news in it is a good idea. I think YouTube actively kills news streams, so we'll probably have to move on from this titling. All right, thank you guys so much. It was a fun night. I'll see you tomorrow for Thursday night football. It'll be pretty good. All righty, go Lions, go Tigers, and of course go Patriots. I'll see you when I see you next.